Aloha, it was very wonderful to see you. I hope that you feel better soon. I hope this video helps. All right, make sure we're in tune together. We got a G, C, E, and then A. You'll notice the only time that I use my thumb is when explaining a chord, like C major. I do it to make sure every note I can hear. So when I explain that this is a G, C, E, C, it means I can play that chord with those notes. Each note, C note, E note, another C note, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, 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 same note, and then a G note, I note, make up a C major chord. Just like when we play an A major, the C sharp, the A, the E, and then another A note make up the A major. What we're talking about are triads. What we'd like to see is this. When we talk about a chord, it has notes in it. There are 4 strings. When I tune with you at the beginning of each video and say G, C, F, not F, E, and A, we know that this high G, this C, this E, and this A will never change. Thusly, when I go G to G sharp or A flat to A, those will never change. We might call them a different name, like when I play this note and this note. They're both the same note. B flats. So in the key of B flat, the top note and the bottom note are both the same. And in the middle, we've got, guess what? The 3rd and the 5th. The easiest way to explain this is in the key of C, there are no sharps and there are no flats. Thusly, when we have this key of C major, we still have our 1. Actually, I'll just get rid of this whole thing. When we play this key of C major, we still have these notes. This is a C note. This G, this C, and this E are played open. Therefore, when I take those and put them in order, C, E, G, I get my 1, 3, 5. Now granted, you might not see it now, but you will see how C, D minor, E minor, F major, G major, A major. You might not see how those are the notes, but they are. And what I'm trying to associate here with you, if I do this in different colors, maybe it'd be cool, is that when we've got certain chords, these certain chords have certain foundations. And those foundations we call intervals. So our 1, our 3, and our 5 make up our chords. As you can see, when we get rid of our 2, our 4, our 6, and our 7, we're left with our 1, 3, 5. In the key of C major, when I make a C like this, C, E, and G, that note being a C itself, because this is the A string, if I played it open, it would be an A. If I played it with my first finger on the first fret, it would be an A sharp or a B flat. Hence, A sharp or B flat. A sharp or B flat. Just the same as F sharp, G flat, D sharp, E flat. The only ones that don't quite work like that, but they do, would be the E sharp, which is actually an F, and the B sharp, which is actually a C, or vice versa. C flat is a B, and F flat is an E. But we don't say those to each other when talking because it's confusing. So we just call them for face value what they are. B flat, B, C. You see how when I go from the B flat to the B to the C, those are all half steps, just like on the book. So what we're doing is we're trying to see the 1, 3, 5 for everything. If we weren't playing C major and we were playing G major, we would have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. Get ready for your 5 and the 6, your 4 and your 2, and you're left with G, B, D. When you write in the fingers of what these are, you quite literally are forming the triad plus an octave of the root. So if we're in the key of G, here's our G, here's our G. That's two Gs. This note here is my fifth, which is my D, and this note right here is my B, which makes up my G major. You know now, when you want to flatten this major third to a minor third, you put a flat on it, which means you move the note downward. This was our B, so to make a G minor, we move our B down a half step to a B flat. So our G, B, D, 1, 3, 5 is now a 1, 3, 5. Still has a triad, but now it's a minor triad. Okay? So, the chord that I'd like you to work on this week is going to be your D major and your E major. We didn't talk too much about it because we're going in and out. I wanted to focus on what we do well rather than what we needed to work on. That's what this video is for. So I'm going to redraw our pad here, and what I'm going to like you to do is just look at this chord for what it's worth. I'm going to put all of our intervals, and we're going to talk about it real quick. We've got a 1, we've got a 2, we have a 3, we have a 4, we have a 5, we have a 6, we have a 7, and then that 7 goes back to the 1 or it's 8. Either way, in the key of D major, we've got a D, an E, an F sharp, a G, a B, a C, and a D. I'm sorry. D, E, F, G. I forgot an A, my little friend. Sorry about that. So check it out. G, A. I forgot my alphabet. And then I've got a B minor and then a C sharp. The reason why I knew that I had the wrong alphabet is when I got to the end here and I had a D as resolving to the G, I knew that was incorrect because the C sharp resolves to the D. C sharp, D, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. If I didn't have the F sharp and the C sharp, it would sound like D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, which is not a major, it is a very minor. So to have a major, what do? We get rid of our 6 and our 7, we get rid of our 2 and our 4, and that leaves us with our major triad, 1, 3, and 5. So in this instance, once we dissect this music, we kind of rewrite all these. This is still a 1, 3, 5, but it's a major triad. If I wanted to make this a minor, I would flatten this F to an F flat, or an E, because an F flat is an E. And remember when I said we generally don't speak that way? When we write things out, we would just write this out as being a minor third. And in my minor third, it's acceptable to write D, E, A, because we know that E is also an F flat. However, to be traditional, F flat still systematically works. 1, 3, 5. So, what we have here is a D major. When we play this chord, we want to leave that high A string open. And the only way you can really do this is to get practice at putting your finger down barring these 3 strings. Meaning you're going to bar the 1, 3, and the 5, and then you're going to leave an additional note open. So let's just talk about this. Let's use a different color as well, alright? This note right here is off of our G, C, E, A. So if I take a G and go here, what's after G in the alphabet? Well, an A is, but it doesn't directly go to A, which is what that note is. It goes to a G sharp or an A flat. This, of course, this note right here, of course, is going to be our A. And the A in this chord is our 5th. When we play C and go to C sharp, or D flat, the next obvious note, C, C sharp, is D. So this note in a D major is the 1. So knowing that chords only have 3 tones, a first, third, and a fifth, knowing that you've got the first and the fifth there, that only leaves this note to be the third, the mediant. The mediant is spelled M-E-D-I-A-N-T, mediant. This mediant determines major or minor, meaning when you've got your D, F sharp, and your A, to make this D major a D minor, you flatten the F sharp to an F, meaning D, F sharp, A, which is major, now became D, F, A, which is minor. Okay? So what we're looking at here is being able to take this note and put it right here for our minor, which is what we're going to leave you on, as you know how to play pretty much all your majors and all your minors. I would like you this week to be able to take these 2 chords, excuse me, A, D, F sharp, and then of course your A over here is open. This is the one where you got to bend your finger over the top of it so it leaves the A open. And if you did bar all these and you put that B in there, it wouldn't make a D major, it would make a B minor 7, which happens to be the last chord on your chord sheet down in the bottom right hand. So I'd like you to play a D major and then play a D minor. The difference between the two is this note. So when you're still playing a D and an A right here, A and a D, you're no longer playing an F sharp, you're playing an F. So when you play D, F, A, it's a minor. When you play D, F sharp, A, it's a major. Knowing this, you can do this in every key. You can play your D major as a D minor, your E major as an E minor, because this shape moves up the fretboard, just like the F major in the second position moves up the fretboard, just like the C major moves up the fretboard. C major, C sharp major, D major, E major, E major, F sharp major, G major, A flat major. When you go up and down here, you only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 notes that go through this. This is consistently known as a diatonic chromatic scale. What we're going to work on next week is hearing scales as being whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Going through all the different parts of why these are what they are. But what I'd like you to do for next week, if you have time during the week here, I know you're feeling a little under the weather, just try and go through these things and see if you have some fun with it. I'm also going to send a secondary video right now of just random chord structures that I'd like you to be able to follow along with. It was great seeing you today. I'll see you soon.